Welcome everybody. My name is Aline. I'm a consultant from the Information Lab Netherlands. So I will be your host today for this session about Alteryx for Excel users. So today we will learn how to understand and fix the issue about quality that we can have in our data. We learn how to merge data, how to create new fields, how to aggregate the data, and how to build the report. So in fact, before we start, could you open in Alteryx the starting workflow? And if you have questions or if I'm going too fast, please drop the question you have on the Q&A on Zoom. And for your information, this session is recorded. All right, so what is our problem today? In fact, we will work with the support ticket data from my company for a couple of years, I think, and we will like to answer these questions. So how many cases do we have by client? Do we meet our SLA, so the service level agreement? And what is the satisfaction average? So in fact, what we will do is building this workflow and build a nice report. So you see company name, the number of cases, and the average satisfaction. So we will use the starting workflow and we will work on it together. So we will add the tools and we will explain and we will build everything together. Let me know if I'm going too fast, and if I have a question, I repeat it, but use the Q&A and I will look at it. But before we start, I will do a quick roundup of what is Alteryx and which tools are we going to use. Let me open my presentation again. Okay, so this is the dataset we have. But first, what is Alteryx? In fact, Alteryx is a simple workflow-based environment that allows you to prepare, blend, and analyze your data, regardless of how many various unstructured data sets you have included. So in fact, it works by tools. So it's like Lego bricks that you put together them, and in order to build a workflow. What are the components of a workflow? In fact, you have the tool, so it's the step in the process. Sorry, so for example, you have the input tool. This tool will read the file that contain the data. For example, you have also the anchors, so it's the input and the output of a tool, and you have the connection between two tools, so that controls the flow of data from one tool to the next. So which tool are we going to use? So first of all, we need to understand and fix our data quality issues. So the first tool, and one that is the most important, is the browse tool. So this tool is designed to give us the ability to see and understand our data. And yes, it allows us as well to easily identify duplicates, information, and issues with null values and white space, for example. Then we have also the data cleans tool. So this tool provides us with the functionality to quickly deal with simple data quality issues like removing punctuation, trimming white space, and converting null value. We have also the unique tool. So this one allows us to remove duplicates from our data. So really simple. Then we will merge our data with a join. So in fact, it's like in Excel, the VLOOKUP tool. So you need, when merging data together, there must be one or more common field to match upon. So for example, with these two tables, we will use the ID and the ref as a common field. And then you have three output anchor in this tool. So first is the join. So in fact, it's the it's where all of the rows match between the two tables, and then on the left, it's one, here in the case, it's one row that doesn't match with the second table, and on the right is another field that doesn't match with the first table. So we will see it in detail after, but in fact, in this tool, you decide first which field you want to join. Then you have also the possibility to rename and to select which field you want to keep from both tables. Then we will see how to create a new field with the formula tool. So I won't be going reading this, but you can update a column or create a new column. And then in the red zone here, you can write your expression. Then we will learn how to filter the data. So in fact, this tool will split the data based on a true or false test. And the last one, we will see how to aggregate our data with the summarize tool. So in this example, you have a table with customer, the sales and the profit. And in fact, we want to create a more simple table by when you will group by customer, make the sum of sales by customer and the average profit by customer. So this is the pivot function in Alteryx. So let's go into the starting workflow. So I hope everybody can open it. So in this starting workflow, we have already the input data tool. So in fact, you have the support ticket for 2 years here. So in order to see this data, you need to run it. So you see on the top right, you have the run function. So you run it. And then we can already see, yes, a view of our data. But in fact, to assess the quality of the data, we need first to drop a browse tool in the view. So on the top, you see you have all of the tools of Alteryx, and they are organized by category. So for example, in green here, you have the in and out tool. So you have the input data when you want to read your data, and you have also the output data. So when you want to export your data into an Excel, for example. Then you have the preparation, the join, the parse, and we will use two tools from this category. And in the favorites, in fact, it's the most used tool. So I think you have a few by default, but when you use a lot when you use a tool that you like a lot, for example, I like to use the comment, then you can click on the star here, and then it will appear in the favorites category. So you can find the browse tool in the favorites, because I think it's there by default, or in the in and out category. So you select it, and then you drag it here into this green box. And then you need to, in fact, to connect your input with this browse. So you will select the anchor here and drag it into the anchor of the browse tool. In order to see the data, you need to run the workflow. So you hit run. And then on the bottom, so you see your data. So we see first that, for example, ticket ID, when you click on a column, on the top of a column, I have information about this column on the left. So I see here ticket ID. In fact, it's a string. We have 1,000 records in this data set. Yes, everything is okay. So 100%. I don't have any null or non-okay or empty rows here. And you have, some statistics about that field. So for example, the min and the max, So it is the length of the string, the shortest value, and then you have also frequent value. And here you have a message from Alteryx that says that all values are unique. And here you can see the top value. So if I do the same for opened, for example, here I can see that it's a date time. And also all values are unique here. Then you can have a look at what's happening. The resolution length, in fact, it's the number of days that takes to solve a ticket. So here it's a double, so it's a numeric field. Right. So that's it for the browse tool. So you can have information here. Everything is green, but if you have a problem, you will see it after. You will see yellow and gray here. You see null with yellow, not okay is red, and empty is gray. So the next step is, because I have this column ticket ID, but in fact, I have too much information in it. I would like to split it. Because the first text number is the ticket ID. Actually, then I have this slash bar, and then I have the name of the company. So I would like to split that column to have a new column with the ticket ID and a column with the name of the company. So I will drag a tool called text to column. So you can find it in the parse category on the top. So you see you have date time, regex, text to column, then drag this tool here into the blue box, text to column, and then we need to, to connect it from the input tool here. So we have an error message. So to see what's happening, you click on this tool, and normally, whoop, we should, no, it disappeared. I think it's because it was there before. So in fact, I need to tell, I will make it bigger. So I need to tell Alteryx which column I want to split. So in fact, I want to split ticket ID, and as a delimiter, it will be this slash bar, and I want to split it into 2 columns. So I see 2. Okay, and then to see the result, I need to hit run. Okay, and then I see, so I still have my ticket ID, and at the right, I have 2 new columns called 1 and 2, and you see here it's completely not okay. In fact, it's red, and when I hover a cell, it says that this cell has a trailing space. So I will need to remove this trailing space, but first I also need to rename this column 1 and 2. So for that, there is a tool called select. I think it's in the favorites as well. So it's a blue one. So either in the favorite select or in the preparation category. Then you drag select here next to column. And you see when you click on it on the left, you have the configuration pane. Then you can see all of the fields you have, what type is it, and you can also rename it. So for example, I don't need ticket ID because it's the field that I split. So yes, it's not really useful in that case. So I will deselect it. And then I will rename the column 1 in ticket ID. And the column 2, it was the company name. Okay. And then, I click outside. But if you get the workflow from your colleague, if you click on the tool, then you can see in yellow what change he made. You can also change, yes, here it's a string like this, but you can also, For example, if it's a date, you can also change it for a date. Normally, Alteryx pick the correct data time, but you can change it from here as well. So I run it. And now I see that my first column, so if I click the answer before, ticket ID is still there, and I have one column, 1 and 2. And if I click after, then ticket ID, my first column disappeared, and then I have this column renamed. Okay, I will wait just a minute to be sure that everybody get that. All right, so now I need to remove this trading space in these two columns. So I will drag a tool called cleansing tool, data cleansing. So it's also in the favorites. So I drag it here into these blue blocks, and then it's connected to the select tool. And here, in fact, I select the field that I want to remove the trading space. So I select, on the left, I select none, and I'm just going to select ticket ID and company name. I don't want to replace the nulls here, but you know that it's an option. I just want to remove the leading and trading white space. So I just keep that selected, and I hit run. Okay, and now you see these two columns, there are 100% okay. So everything is good in that column. Now I need to, the next step is to remove any duplicates. So maybe, yes, there is problem in the data set. So I want to be sure that I have one ticket ID. So I will use a tool called Unique. So you can find it in the preparation category on the top, and it's the last one on the right. So Unique, I drag it here into the box, and then I make the connection. In fact, when you drag it, if you come close the previous tool, directly Alteryx directly make the connection. So I click, and then in fact I need to choose which field I want to check if there is duplicate or not. So here I will select ticket ID, and I will run. So in fact, one record for each unique record will always be kept and placed into the unique anchor, and with all further instances being placed into the D. So the D for duplicate anchor. And you see, in fact, in our case, we don't have any duplicates. You see 0 record displayed. So that's good. So we will connect. We will continue with the unique anchor. And now we have another data set that contains the service level agreement. So for each company. So we have 3 companies here, the client ID and the service level agreement by company. So I would like to join this with my first, with my support ticket data. So it's like performing a VLOOKUP to bring this information like in Excel. So for that, I will use a tool called Join. So you can find it either in favorites, because I think it's there by default, either in the Join category. So I drag it here. And then in fact, my my support ticket data will connect to the left side here, and my input service level agreement data will connect to the right anchor here. So now I need to select a common field. So for example, so the left will be what's coming from the left anchor. So in this case, it's the support ticket data. So in fact, I need to merge this data based on the company name. So on the left, I will choose company name, and on the right, it will be client name. It's different. Okay. So at the bottom of the join tool, in fact, let me remove this. What you see on the bottom left is the overview. So when you have really big workflow, you can, you can move into the workflow with this, but here it's not really useful. So I will remove it, I think. Overview, okay. So now I'm still in the join tool. So you see at the bottom, we have an inbuilt select tool, so which allow us to remove field, to change the field names, and to change also the data type. So for example, here, I don't need the client ID. The client name, I already have it. What I want is the agreement, right? So I will run it, but before I run, what I like to do with the join, I right-click into this tool, and then I select Add All Browsers. Like this, I can see what's happening with this. So first, I will add that. So I click on Add All Browsers here. Then I have 3 browsers, so one for each anchor. So for the left, the join, and the right. And I hit run. Okay, and yes, here we have a perfect match. So if I select the browse tool that get the data from the join, I have 1,000 records, so everything match. But if something was not matching between these two, I can see that here in this left and right anchor here. Okay. When you want to remove a tool, you right-click on it and then you have delete. You can also copy and paste tools, of course. So I will delete it then. Okay, delete this one. I can keep it. So that's the join. In fact, it's a really useful tool in Atterix. In our case, we just join the 2 tables by one command field, but in fact, you can use as many fields that you want. So if nobody has a question, let's move to the formula tool, because now, so we have the ticket, the company name, also the resolution length by day, and also the SLA agreement. So the SLA agreement, in fact, is the number of days we agree with our customer that we will solve the ticket. So in fact, I would like to know when we met the agreement or not. So when the resolution length was lower than the SLA agreement. So for that, I need to create a calc that will say, okay, if for this ticket, if the resolution length was lower than the SLA agreement, then SLA it's within the SLA. If not, it's outside. So to create, I need to create a new column for that. So I will use a tool called formula tool. So I will drag into the view here. Let's drag the formula tool up from the join anchor. So here on the left, in the configuration, I can select the column that I want to update, or I can create a new column. So in this case, I will create a new column. So I click Add Column and I select SLA. Yes, how can I call it? Yes, SLA with a question mark, for example. And then I need a logic statement. So it will be if, then, else, and. So I can start typing if, and then immediately I have the wording of this statement is popping up. So I select it. But you can also select on the left, you have also a function here. And then you can also find the function here. So you see in conditional, you can find it here. So let me go back to this. So I have if. I need to replace the C with my field. So in fact, it will be if my resolution type. So I type the first letters of this field, and then in blue, I see it appears here. So if, so I select it. So if resolution days is higher or equal than the SLA agreement, here, then I need to replace the T. Then I will call that outside SLA, else in SLA. Okay, so for example, here I see the output, I have the data preview, so it will be outside SLA. But if you make a mistake, like this one, for example, then you see it's malformatted if statement. But if nothing appears, everything is good. So I will correct it here. So here it's one calc, but you can add more with the plus here. And you can click on the bin here and you will delete it. So you can have, in this formula tool, you can have multiple calculations. Okay, so let's run it. And now when I click here, I see that I have a new column with outside SLA or in SLA. So now, yes, I will just wait 1 minute that everybody is, has time to look at that. Okay, if everybody is ready, so let's move on and filter the data that we actually need. So in fact, we need only the ticket that didn't meet OSLA SLA agreement. So we need to filter our data. So we have a tool called filter that you can find in the preparation category. So you drag it up next in this box, make the connection. And in fact, here you need to select your column that you want to use as a filter. So in this case, it will be SLA, exclamation, equals outside SLA. Okay. So in fact, here it's a string. So it can be equal, does not equal, contains. I use more contains because sometimes you are not sure of all of the words in it. If it's a big, yes, if you have multiple words, you can use contain. You have also is null, is not null, is empty, is not empty. So very useful to remove these rows. So here it will be equals outside SLA. So here's we select the basic filter, but if you want to filter more component of your column, you can hit custom filter, and then you can add, for example, Boolean keyword. So it will be or, and then you add more words, and then you can yes, your filter is more elaborate. But here we will keep it simple. So we will keep the basic filter here. Okay, in fact, yes, when I'm back to basic filter, I lost it. So I will just keep custom filter because it's still the same. In fact, when you create a basic filter, if you hit custom filter, it transforms it into a calc. So I will just keep that one, but it's the same that I use for basic filter. So I run it. And then when I click on the true anchor, I see that I have 183 records that met this statement. So I have only outside SLA. And in the false anchor, I have every ticket that are in the SLA. So I will continue with the filter data. But now, in fact, the end goal is to have the number of tickets by company and also the average. The average of satisfaction and severity. So for that, in fact, it's the pivot function in Tableau. So for that, we will use the summarize tool. You can find it in the transform category on the top. So up, you select summarize and you drag it here. I made the connection from the true anchor to the summarize. And here, in fact, you have the ability to select the field you wish to bring through. So once you have highlighted the field that you wish to use, you must then specify the aggregation. So for example, here, I want to group by, to have the company. So I select company. And then if I click on the add button, so I will have a series of aggregation options, so which are specific to the data type that I have selected. So for example, here it's a string field, so I'm not able to sum, but I can group by. So I will hit group by. I want to count the number of tickets. So I select ticket ID, and when I click add, then I have the count here. So I click count. And I would like to have the average, the satisfaction average. So it's also a numeric field here. So I select satisfaction here. And when I click add, then I have more options. So I can have the sum, of course, the min, the max. And if I'm going to numeric, then I have the average. So I select average and I do the same for the severity. So I select severity, I click add, and then I select numeric average. All right. So be aware that we will only see these 4 fields in the output. So if you want more columns, then you need to add it here. So I hit run. And as a result, I have this table with my 4 companies, the number of tickets, and the average satisfaction and severity. Okay. And at the end, in fact, I want to create a report with that table. So you have the reporting tool. So you have a reporting category on the top. And yes, you have a lot of possibilities here. You can make a chart. Yes, with a map. If you have created a map, and here I will just use the table tool. So it's the last one on the right. So I will drag it here. We'll connect it. And then I don't want to group by here. It's a basic table. So I will go to to the bottom, and then, yes, I will keep it like this. So everything is selected, but I have also the possibility to make a bar chart. So I can select bar here, and I choose the field that I want to display as a bar chart. So I will keep count here, and I will deselect it from this box at the bottom. So I deselect count. And if I want to look, yes, what it look like, the report, I can drag a browse tool. I drag it here in the green container, and I hit run. And then we have our table. So same, but the number of reports, in fact, we have a bar chart. So now you want to export this report into a PDF. So in fact, for that, you need a render tool. So it's again from the reporting category on the top. So you drag it here next to the table tool, and you can choose what do you want to run. So you can have a temporary PDF document, or yes, a Word document. And if you scroll down, you can choose a specific output file. So you can output the file in a specific folder of your computer. So sorry if I was too fast. So I click on output file, and then I click here on this icon, and I choose where I want to output the report. And I can also select which format. So we select PDF. Okay. So it will be a table. You can also select the size, if it's in portrait and landscape, the margin. So I will keep it everything as a default. And I run it. And now I can find my report somewhere. I think it was in document. Oh, yes, you see report PDF. And when I open it, up is the table that I built. So it's really simple. Of course, you can make more sophisticated report with title, with chart, with more tables. But here it's only to show you the basic of the report. So I close it. Okay. So in fact, we answer a question about yes, how many tickets, and that doesn't meet the SLA agreement and the average satisfaction and severity. So yes, maybe I was too fast. I hope you could follow me. So please let me know if you have any question. Yes, I'm available for you to answer these. Yes, someone is asking about the formula tool. In fact, yes, here we built an if statement, but of course you can you have more functions. So when I open it here on the left, so you have all of the function. So you have, for example, you can also you have function from string. You have function for date. So if you want to calculate the number of days between two dates, so for example, you have the date time diff. So you have plenty of options for date. You have also the math for the average, for example, the round. You have a tons of function that you can also find on the Alteryx website. And you have also all of the spatial function. You have the operator. So for example, and, not, or. So it's the Boolean keywords. So yes, basically, yes, really a lot of questions. Someone is asking if it's possible to join more than 2 tables. Because here you see we have 2 input anchors, so the left and the right. So yes, it's possible, but you need another tool that you can find in the join category, and it's called the join multiple. So in fact, in Alteryx, the good thing is when you want to know more about a tool, you can click on it, and then you open example, and then you can run, you have a workflow that explain all of the, yes, how is it working, this tool. So you can run it, and then you can see, for example, here, it will join 3 table, and you can specify like the same with the simple join tool. You have input 1, input 2, input 3, where is it? Yes, input 3, and then you can specify which field you want to use as a key. And you have also the select tool inbuilt here on the bottom. So it's possible for more than 2 tables, you need to use that tool, join multiple. Yes, one other question is how to output your data, because here we learn how to output a report, but most of the time you want to, yes, you clean your data set and you want your colleagues or yourself to use it as an Excel, for example. So in the in and out category, you have the output data tool here. So if I drag it here, I connect it and I can select which file type I want to output. So you have the Alteryx database. So this one is really good if you want to use this dataset in another workflow, because it's really fast. If you want to work with other tools, for example, if you work with ArcGIS, then you can export a shape file. In it, you can export Tableau data extract if you work with Tableau. Of course, you have Excel. You have also flat file like CSV. Yes, you have plenty of options. Okay. Any other questions? All right, so nobody else has questions. So thank you for attending. And if you are still interested to learn Alteryx with us, we have our next training is about building robust workflow. So don't hesitate to register. All right, so I wish you a very good afternoon, and yes, I will see you next time maybe.